Hey folks, Jonathan here, back working on the truck again. We got a little bit of rain today. It's a Monday, we had a lot of tows going on, so I'm going to try to get a little bit done here, or we'll see anyway. Okay, one of the things I've been putting off that I need to do, and when I say putting off, you know, some things are a whole lot funner to do than others, and you know, some things you sort of dread to do, but you know, all these jobs on these things, or on any project, is usually 90% inspiration and 10% perspiration. And I believe it was Lincoln that said that, but somebody said it, but it makes a lot of sense, because getting inspired to get out and work on something and get started on it is sometimes the hardest part of all of it. And this is something that has got to be done, and you know, when you've worked as many hours as I have on this frame, you would think that you know, you wouldn't have to put any more hours in, but you know, I don't have a choice. It's something that's got to be done. The truck actually sitting here is pretty level, but the problem is I've got the 46-inch tires on the back and I've got the stock tires up on the front. So, you know, the back has to be raised, and it really needs to go up 4 inches, but I think I'm going to do things a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. This rivet and this rivet, they're 3 inches apart, and there's actually 5 rivets on these front ones. And the rivets also hold the cross member in, so you know, if you take them out and you move this, you've got to put bolts back in it. And these rivets are not easy to get out. And you know, I'm sure they're hot rivets, and you know, you can cut the head off and they still don't want to press out, so they're pretty rough. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down 3 inches to this hole, and then I'll make a plate, and you know, with a bracket that goes on the bottom, and I may weld it into this plate here, because this is, you know, not part of the main frame. Actually, this plate is not part of the main frame. As you can see, it's plated over top, so you know, we've got triple frame up here. So we'll see how it goes, how I'm going to go about doing it, but I'm not so worried about that now as I am going on and getting these rivets out, getting this moved down. And like I said, it's only going to be 3 inches. We really need 4, but I'm going to do it a little different on the back. Instead of going 4, I'm going to go 5. And these mount a little different, just 4 rivets straight up through. And so we will make mounts on this and move this down 5. So, but that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and get it jacked up, get the weight off the frame, get some jack stands under the frame on each side to support all the weight, and then cut these rivets and go ahead and start getting this moved where we need to move it, because we can't start building any kind of a bed or anything until this is done. So you know, this is one of the obstacles in my way, so I'll show you more here shortly. Okay, we've run into the same problem with most of the other ones on here. What I'll do is I'll take the torch and I'll actually blow a hole try to blow it just as close to the center as I can, but blow it through the rivet, and usually that'll relieve it enough to be able to knock it out because they're not moving a bit. Okay, we've got it out. I'll show you what we're working with here. There's the rivet. We'll say it's about 1.25 inches long, and you know, when they put them in there and they smash each end of them, and you can see where their tool was on it, it swells them out. So if you blow one hole through them, you know, it don't have to be all the way through or anything, just as good as you can get it, as deep as you can get it. Usually they'll knock right out, and then you know, sometimes it's fun to get it off, but it's off, and but that's how you got to do it. And I will hit the other ones, and I know people are going to say, well, an air chisel, well, I've got a good air chisel in there. I run 180 psi in my air compressor, and it won't do a thing with them. So without burning that hole, there's not much you can do. So we'll pop a hole in each one of them and then see if we can't get them all out. Little buddy, bring him over here. Yeah. Here's the next worker. This is my grandson, Graydon. He's 4 months old, and he'll be out here working before too long. Say hey. Hello. Sure is a big difference. Something as ugly as me and as cute as him, huh? Now that was a good interruption. So there you go. There's all 5 of them out. You can see how I done. You know, I had a couple of them there I didn't get in the center. Had to recut a little bit. I got the top front one off a little bit, but I guess you get a little older, you start not being able to see it quite as easy. We'll move on to probably the other side, and then see if we can get it dropped down. Show you more. Okay folks, we've got these ones out too. What I'm going to go ahead and do is find some bolts and go ahead and get some bolts in the lower section, or the upper hole, the lower hole here on the frame, and go ahead and get that just bolted up and cinch them up. That way I know where I need to go with them. it's looking like we're going to end up having to jack it up to 4 inches. Now the reason why is the lower bolts is lining up with the bottom of the frame rail, and right here, and there's no way of putting a bolt in it. You know, we've got to have all the bolts on it, so we'll just pop it off, raise the frame up far enough, or you know, lower the rear end down far enough. And we're going to do this while we have it hooked at the back. I don't want to take it loose yet. That way, you know, I'm by myself here and I don't want it to get out of control and make it that much worse. So that's what we'll do. We'll lower it down in 1 inch on them, and that'll be able to clear everything there. So it was a good thought, but it ain't gonna work. Not like that anyway. So like I said, I've got a mag drill, so drilling it won't be a problem, and we'll do that next and go ahead and get the front end mounted. And I know this is going to be a short one and I didn't get a lot done, but I did get the hoses hooked up on the power steering. I'm waiting on one fitting, and it's for a low pressure return. So we'll have that power steering complete. Need to do this, and I've got to do the brakes, run all the brake lines and everything, but we're moving in the right direction anyway. And so we'll just raise that 4 and this 4, and didn't pay no attention to the bottom of the frame there, so but won't be a problem at all. And the other side, it's just about lined up, but you know, there's no reason to worry too much about it. We'll raise her up and get them holes made, and hopefully we'll have time to get back on it tomorrow. I've got to go haul some equipment, and I think I'll probably film it tomorrow and or in the morning, and it's actually going to be a trade for a buddy of mine. I'm going to do some hauling, and I'm going to end up with some good stock steel and aluminum and, you know, pieces, new stock. Him and a couple of other friends of his went together and bought a sort of a factory out, or a company out, that had a lot of machines, and they've sold most of them, but he's got 1 or 2 that's going to come to his place, and I'm going to haul them for him. And but pretty good ways away, but you know, not a problem. But anyway, look forward to tomorrow, and maybe we'll get another video up. Appreciate it. Bye.